That's one of the good TikToks to edit to. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on this 2021 Ram 2500. Actually, let's see what... Okay.
I'm here for my warranty work.
All right. Anyway, guys, we're going to be working today on Gordon's truck. As many of you guys remember, we put the spare engine in from KOS into his truck, and it is now knocking. So let's get it fixed or figure out if we got to pull it. This video is kind of going to be a little weird. We'll start off. We had Paw Paw Gordon is here, and I'm filming this way after the fact, so that way it makes more sense. But Paw Paw Gordon swung by. He had some issues. Engine was knocking, and we go into that. And also, I'll throw this in right now. We have David's engine over at New Performance Auto. Made some adjustments, changed some turbos around, changed some fueling around, and stay tuned and watch that. Very, very happy for David to finally get the power that he wanted, and yeah, it's a good feeling. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video.
Huh?
Horizontal videos.
That's right.
It's something, a wire.
Over 2,000?
Yeah, I seen over 2,000. 2025.
Joys.
Mm-hmm.
Race truck.
Race truck life.
Today we have Gordon Lindemood's black dually here. This is the 1,500 horsepower plow truck. He brought it back. As you guys remember, he had some engine issues at All Truck Challenge. This was the spare engine. This was the one that we did 2,000 horsepower on in the silver truck. And it now has a little bit of a knock, only when it's hot, around 11 to 1,400 RPM. I hear nothing. I hear nothing. Perfect. I can hear it now. You hear it? We're going for a test drive to find this mysterious knock.
It's not that bad, is it?
I don't know.
Headlights.
I melted the one.
Oh, okay.
What year are they from?
2012. One had moisture in it. I melted it. And then heat gun.
That rail hang though.
Somebody put a flashlight out there so you can see where we're going.
I'm worried about the deer. And Gordon's just like, oh my goodness. So far, guys, the knock has not happened. Oh God, we're going on the main road. We are dying tonight.
Oh, I didn't. Was I supposed to keep in the circle?
Oh, that's right. We are accompanied by a guest star tonight, Morgan Wallen, ladies and gentlemen.
The real thing, Gordon.
Huh?
The real thing.
Well, he's not a tuner anymore, so what do you expect? He doesn't tune anymore.
Spaceship.
Yeah. Where's the Starlight headliner, Gordon?
It's coming. It's on back order.
You got that 1,500 piece. So many gauges in here.
Oh my goodness. They're definitely breaking into our shop.
Turn around in here, go back.
You better go to the Thorntons, or that gas station.
Up here.
Jimbo's.
Doors.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's alright.
I love it.
That turbo is just ridiculous.
I love it. I want to start turning it on.
Is it 95? Yeah.
I need this.
596.
I need this.
It comes up with easy. Not like nothing.
Stainless.
Yeah. It literally drives like a stock truck. Spools it instantly.
Tote this thing. Oh man, I really want a straight engine again.
I still don't hear anything, Gordon.
You don't hear it until you open the window.
Open the window. Get it up to
How
like.
can you hear anything with that turbo?
Get it up to like 1,500 real quick.
Like revving it.
Yeah. I'm putting it in drive, but just holding the brakes. Honestly, bro, that literally sounds like fuel knockers. Can we log it?
We can, but I mean, how do you see knock? I mean, that was literally 1,000 RPMs.
I'm just curious if like the timing starts wigging out or the pulse width.
You know, there's all your timing numbers, rail pressure.
You can hear it now.
Who knows?
What's your tank 30 setup like on your anteater?
I think it's like fast shifts.
Yeah, that's that's usually a real good burnout one because it's like 5,000 RPM shit, 5,000 RPM shit. That's one of the good TikToks to edit to. How's the turbo go?
And you are now the intro.
We'll get a good one right here.
That came up pretty good, Gordon.
Were you even full throttle? Because it doesn't feel like it.
I was terrified I was going to
Yeah.
die. I don't want to like hurt it, but I really want to get on it real hard.
Yeah, because that didn't feel like full throttle.
No, it wasn't.
And he now needs rotors, pads, and calipers. Oh. And yes, we did just go out and beat on it. I'm thinking we're gonna check the crank thrust on this, and we're also gonna pull the trans out because I think either the trans, there's something going on in the tranny, like the converter is ballooned, or we have a crank problem because it only knocks when it's in gear. So when you have something in drive, it pushes the crank forward, and I'm wondering if either he lost the main bearing or if it's something like right there where the trans meets the engine. And since we're gonna pull the engine anyway, the trans has got to come out. We might as well save our backs and do it on the lift here. Gordon, how have you felt about this engine?
Minty.
Yeah. Any complaints?
None. Only thing is that it knocks.
Yeah. And that belt's sweet. So anyway, guys, this is that 6.7 engine with the 2 flange sleeves in it, the 19 plus standard output pistons, a PDD ported head. Gordon, what else is on this unit here?
66 LPMs.
Okay.
Yep.
And how big?
11 mil on the bottom, a modded ATS pump on the top.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. 485 Godfather as a single.
I think it's loud.
It's gnarly.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No.
But
No,
yeah,
you definitely need earplugs.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
And yeah, we're gonna basically see if it's something easy. He's gonna leave the truck with us. Well, I guess if it's a trans issue, we'll get this wrapped up real easy. But if it ends up being a engine issue, we'll get it pulled out, get it torn down for you guys, and we will show you the unedited raw destruction or lack thereof when we take it apart. So hopefully you guys like this one. We'll get to work. You guys have seen us pull a tranny. We'll wait till we get to that point where we're gonna start checking stuff.
Not that old.
And one's a fleet guard.
There's no.
You realize this is a plow truck, right? And the paint comes off of those pretty.
I'd say so.
They're not even a year old.
5 years later. I don't know why my fuel's bad.
That's why it's gonna feel.
Gordon worried about polishing his turbos, and his freaking fuel filters are down here.
Living the dream.
Come back, Joe. Come back. Cutting open light oil filter. Okay, back on this girl. They got everything taken off. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna jack up the motor, take the oil pan off, and see what we can see down there. You guys kind of saw the oil filter. There was some shavings in there. It didn't look horrible, but that knock is something that I'm a little concerned about. So we're gonna take the oil pan off. If it looks bad, we'll pull the engine. If it looks like it's just the main bearing, then we will roll a bearing in it and send them on the way. Got the oil pan off, and this is the thrust bearing. Now, if you guys look really closely, you can see compared to a new one, it really doesn't look that bad. There's a little bit of damage. But then when you look at the thrust side, which is going to be this side right here, you guys kind of see this huge ridge right in here, right there. And then you look at a new bearing. See how it's nice and smooth there? So what I think was happening, remember when I told you guys you could hear the knock when it was in gear? I think that was enough to push the crank forward, and it's sitting there rubbing on this edge of the bearing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a new thrust bearing in there, and then put the oil pan back on, fill it full of oil, fresh filter. If the knock goes away, then Gordon can take it home. If the knock continues, then we will just set it to the side and pull it out and do a full engine build. But I will show you guys underneath, but that's kind of what we're thinking. And guys, if this was a customer's block or anything like that, obviously we would do it differently, but this is still a loaner engine at Gordon, so we're just trying to get them back on the road or figure out if we need to do a fresh engine build. Isn't that right, Gordon?
That's correct.
How do you feel about this warranty service?
It's great.
Yeah. Dave, anything nice to add?
All the horsepowers.
You like that truck, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, guys, here's the underneath. I apologize, I have to use a light that kind of flashes, but that's all we've taken apart. All the rods look good. The main studs are holding. Now, I did want to bring your guys' attention. Where's that main cap at, Gordon?
I believe it's supposed to be up here. Oh, here it is. Right there.
Oh, all right. So I want to show you guys what happens on high RPM stuff. You guys see this bearing wear on the edge here, and here? It's actually from the main cap fretting. You guys see the hammering marks there. So this cap's moving around a little bit, but like I said, this is kind of just a temporary thing. But
Expect for 2,200 horsepower.
yeah, I've always tried to be honest with you guys, and this is honestly what the bearings look. This engine's got about 31,000 miles on it. It's made many hits over 1,500. Gordon plowed with it. He drove it with a single 485, big burnouts and stuff. I was not easy to it, as you guys can remember as well. So all in all, not bad. We're not going to replace this lower bearing. We're just going to put the one thrust bearing in, this one right here. And to roll them in, basically all you do is you have somebody basically bar the engine over, and you just kind of push the bearing in. Just pay attention when you're rolling one in. There's a tang side and a non-tang side. You basically have to spin it in so that way the tang is the last thing to hit the block, if that makes sense. And yeah, we'll get the oil pan tossed back on here and see what happens. You can get the oil pan off on these. What we do with them on a lift, we take a trans jack and lift up the front of the engine, and there's just enough room to sneak it by the transmission pan. And that's how I do it, so I get to work on the lift. And here you guys can kind of see, so basically the tang side is this side here. So you're gonna start with the non-tang side on the tang side and spin it in. It takes a little finesse, but it can be done. Excuse the shaky camera work, we got a amateur in the house, but this is kind of how you do it. You put a little pressure on the bearing, spin the engine over, the crank kind of takes the bearing with it. And now that I actually have the tang on the right side, this is going a lot better. So yeah, oh, there we go. It really went around that time.
I have no idea if I'm holding this camera right angle.
No, it looks good.
Does? I'm sure it's shaky as hell.
But anyway, guys, that's it.
What do you got there?
A mistake. I think I punctured the membrane a little too far. Is this what happens
what is
when
that?
you? Is this what happens when you go too deep? I would never know. None of us would, really.
This is
It's
gonna
an
be
art
interesting.
It's just an art project.
The right stuff. It's never coming off.
Oh my. All right. No, you just.
Yeah, we don't care. Unbelievable.
It's a warranty job.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Dude, with how expensive RTV is? Are you kidding me? Okay, so we got the oil pan on, motor back in its mounts. And now Gordon and Dave are putting the Godfather 5-blade stainless diesel. And he's putting his valve cover on, which is a Beans. Dave's just having a great time, aren't you, Dave? Gordon, are you enjoying this?
Oh, yeah.
What's the probability of it still knocking, guys?
About 97.9%.
Dave?
99.
I don't know why I hang out with these guys.
The rust.
Stop.
Rust everywhere. Just clamps.
We are all back together. We're going to crank it, make sure we have oil pressure, and then we'll plug the injectors in and go try it. Go ahead, Gordon. Yeah, give that starter a break there. FR3 technology. Man, you're over here busting my chops about push lock. What do you got for a breather? You're poor.
I don't want you to be poor like me.
Oh, thanks. We were talking about building that engine, Dave. Should I use AN or push lock? He's like, push lock is for poor people. What do I see? Nothing but push lock on this thing. Nothing but push lock.
Nothing but push on.
And we have oil pressure, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and plug these in. It's a lot easier than like a Duramax. Okay, fire up, clear. Why did it sound like there was a lot of brake clean in there?
80 pounds.
Sheesh. I don't hear any knock.
Not hear a squeal.
What's that? Out she goes. Judging by that rip, I'm gonna say that it sounds good and they're happy with it. We'll go talk to them, see what they think. I didn't hear any knocking, but let's go talk to them. And you know, they both, it was upper 90s against me, so it hurts. It hurts. All right, so obviously that rip by me, what did we think? I didn't hear any knocks. Dave?
It's fixed.
Okay, anything you
Impressive.
boys?
I'm not gonna lie, I had my doubts. I was like, this thing's
Jesus
coming
was
right
with
back.
us on that one. He helped us out.
All right, well, at least, hey, it's,
It's gonna come back out.
I don't know. Hey, that warranty did not reset, though. It ended up being that main bearing. I wasn't totally sold if that was really the problem, but I to be fair, that is kind of what I guessed. We got lucky, able to spin a new bearing in, and sometimes you get lucky. Guys, that is the engine that did 2,000 horsepower, 2183. It's the one that was in the silver truck pretty much all summer last year. Drag race, sled pull, dyno, daily drove, towed, all of that. It's got about 31,000 miles on it. So all that considered, the power it's made, the abuse it's had, the neglect it's had, that is a solid engine, and I have no issues showing you guys what happened. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. I'm just glad we got Gordon's truck back up and rolling so he can keep using it this summer. Anyway, guys, like this video, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you are not already, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.